Fascist. Letter to the New Statesman, 5th March 1938, by Evelyn Waugh. Sir, I am moved to write you on a subject that has long been in my mind, by an anecdote I have just heard. A friend of mine met someone who, I am sure, both you and he himself would readily admit, represents the highest strata of left-wing culture. The conversation turned on the Mayfair jewel robbers, and the socialist remarked that they exhibited typical fascist mentality. This seems to me an abuse of vocabulary so mischievous and so common that it is worth discussing. There was a time in the early 20s when the word bolshi was current. It was used indiscriminately of refractory school children, employees who asked for a rise in wages, impertinent domestic servants, those who advocated an extension of the rights of property to the poor, and anything or anyone of whom the speaker disapproved. The only result was to impede reasonable discussion and clear thought. I believe we are in danger of a similar stultifying use of the word fascist. There was recently a petition sent to English writers by a committee, few, if any, of whom were English professional writers, asking them to subscribe themselves categorically as supporters of the Republican Party in Spain or as fascists. When rioters are imprisoned, it is described as a fascist sentence. The means test is fascist. Colonization is fascist. Military discipline is fascist. Patriotism is fascist. Catholicism is fascist. Buckmanism is fascist. The ancient Japanese cult of their emperor is fascist. The Gala tribe's ancient detestation of theirs is fascist. Fox hunting is fascist. Is it too late to call for order? It is constantly said by those who observe the growth of Nazism, fascism, and other dictatorial systems, not perhaps excluding the USSR, that they were engendered and nourished solely by communism. I do not know how true that is, but I'm inclined to believe it when I observe the pitiable stampede of the left-wing intellectuals in our own country. Only once was there anything like a fascist movement in England. That was in 1926, when the middle class took over the public services. It now does not exist at all, except as a form of anti-Semitism in the slums. Those of us who can afford to think without proclaiming ourselves intellectuals do not want or expect a fascist regime. But there is a highly nervous and highly vocal party who are busy creating a bogey. If they persist in throwing the epithet about, it may begin to stick. They may one day find that there is a fascist party which they have provoked. They will, of course, be the chief losers, but it is because I believe we shall all lose by such a development that I'm addressing this through your columns. Evelyn Waugh.